Well, good afternoon. This is our artist that has artwork in our gallery this month. Could you tell us your name?
My name is April McDonald.
Well, we're glad to have you. April,
Thank you.
Could you tell us why you like to be an artist?
Oh gosh, for so many reasons. Because I love to create things. I like to be outside, and the way I paint is to paint outside. It's called plein air. So it allows me to combine two of my favorite things, the use of color and being outside.
Great. Did you remember how old you were when you first created art?
Oh my goodness.
Way back when?
Well, I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I was in my 2s and 3s. My mother was a school teacher, an elementary teacher. So we did art at home, you know, and during the summers, even as a child. The things funny stories are like, she would say, I would look for my tin foil to wrap the chicken for Sunday dinner, and I couldn't find it. And then I'd find it, you made a ballerina with it. So I would sculpt with the tin foil, or, you know, just anything that I could get my hands on.
That's awesome. Can you tell us your favorite subject to draw or paint about? You mentioned nature.
Yeah.
Is there one certain thing in nature that you like?
I would say the landscape, specifically, even more than buildings, like the mountains, the ocean, the rocky cliffs of Maine, just anything that just gives me a view of the landscape, because I can see more of how the light is filtering and how it's hitting it, and that creates nice shadows and reflections. But I love capturing the landscape and feeling the feel of the atmosphere that day, whether it's cold or warm or, you know, foggy or rainy, or it's a beautiful sunset.
Well, do you think shadows and highlights make your work look more realistic?
I think so, because, you know, a canvas is two-dimensional. It's flat. So in order to see or perceive depth, you have to have light and shadow. I think it gives more visual interest.
I see that a lot of your scenes are from different areas. Did you actually go to these areas and paint these pictures? Wow.
I did. I actually do almost all my painting outside.
Wow.
The small paintings are maybe 45 minutes to an hour. The larger ones about 2. But the whole thing is that way you can use all your senses. You can see, what you feel, what something smells like. And I know that sounds silly, but all those senses sort of feed into what you're painting. And so it becomes more real. And even though cameras have gotten very, very good, they capture thousands of detail, but they don't always capture the feeling of something. So in order to convey that, you need to be there. You need to be outside.
Would you say that you have been influenced by any of the French Impressionists?
Oh, most definitely. Growing up, Monet was my favorite. We lived close to the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts, and so on weekends my dad would take me up there and we would get to see exhibits as they traveled through. And I just loved the feeling of his work, because again, you feel the light hitting the water. You feel what it was like outside. You can feel the breeze almost passing through the trees. And they were big Impressionist landscape painters.
Okay, now you told us that you started very young creating art, but you've just recently started doing it full time, correct?
Correct.
Well, what encouraged you or influenced you to get back into doing art?
Well, like all of us, I had an occupation that provided us help to pay our bills and eat. But I always wanted to just paint, really paint. And I just finally, in my 60s, had the opportunity to do it. I was able to retire from my full-time job and start painting again. So after 30 years of not doing any fine art, I picked up the brush about 3 years ago and just said, you know what, I'm going to go outside, and that's what I did.
Wow, that's great. Well, can you tell us if you feel like art can be used as therapy also?
I do. I very much do. That's what initially got me interested in studying art and then thinking about art as therapy. I think it has healing qualities. I think it's a way to reach people. It's a way to express things that sometimes we just don't have words for. It allows us to speak from our hearts.
Do you feel like the students could use art for therapy as well?
I do. I think, again, I think it's something you can use to describe a mood, how you feel, by either the colors you choose or the kinds of marks you make on the paper. It can also be peaceful. It can be something that just gives you a sense of great peace once you've finished a painting or once you've finished a drawing. And being outside in nature kind of does that too, so being able to do both is a wonderful thing.
Well, right behind you are some examples of sketches. Did you do that in pencil or pen and ink?
I did those in pen and ink. You can go to any art supply store or online, and they'll have their version of what we call a copal marker, or which illustrators use, and they will have a range of shades from light to dark. But you can pick up 3 or 4, just anywhere from your darkest dark to the lightest light, and then just take a little 8x10 pad, and wherever you are, just sit down and make a sketch. And what you're looking at is value, because while you can kind of tell I'm a colorist here, it was value that does the work. Even if you just painted with one color, if the value, which is your light to dark, the darkest dark, lightest light, and the shades in between, if you get those right, you're going to get the painting right. You're going to get the feeling right. So these are quick sketches that can be done almost anywhere.
Well, they are fabulous.
Thank you.
Do you think the students can use their value scale and add different values into their work the same way that you have done?
I think they can. I'd encourage you to start out simple, like not 10 different shades, but 4, 5 at the most, and just start sketching. Start sketching and look at things as shapes, not what it is. Don't go, well, that's a flower, or that's a mountain. Look at this shape. It's kind of triangular, or that's kind of rectangular, and start doing it by shape, and you'll be surprised how that picture will come together.
I've noticed you also have some very colorful paintings. What kind of medium did you use on those?
Oils. I just primarily paint in oils, and can't really tell you why, but I just like it. I like the ability to either mix the color on the palette or to put the color right on the painting and just mix it right there.
Right, that is so much fun. Well, can you give one piece of advice to the art classes as to how to develop their art skill?
I know y'all have probably heard this now 10 times, but I would say go outside. Everything I've ever read, everything I've personally experienced is that the camera does so much work for you in photos, but if you go outside, you're engaging your brain. Your brain has to measure the distance between things. Your brain has to pick up that sensation of the wind blowing and the heat coming down and what you're trying to convey. You work so much harder, and you might get a little more frustrated because you'll say, but it's so much easier just to look at this picture and do it. But you know what? When you go back inside and then draw, you will be so much better. You will be shocked how much faster you'll get better at what you're doing. So take a small notebook like me, carry your pens along wherever you are. You've got a couple minutes, you're waiting on your mom, or you're waiting for dinner, go outside, sketch, and you'll be surprised. But the same thing, anything you want to develop, do a little bit every day, as much as you can, and there you go.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here today. You have certainly been an inspiration to us. And we thank you for sharing your work with us in our beautiful gallery here at Cannons Elementary.
Thank you. Thank y'all for having me. It's just a pleasure to be here.